day that Portmanteau returns to us here at Dove Cottage. I'm a fairly new member of staff, and this is my first day of opening up Dove Cottage, and it coincides with the rehoming of the Portmanteau back from the restorers. So I'm really excited to see it in the flesh. We've got postcards of it in the shop, and I'm really looking forward to it being back in its spot.
So we're on the road, Melissa and I. We're on our way down to Preston. We're going to collect the portmanteau, and we're going to see it, well, we expect to see it in a wonderfully clean and restored state. And I remember it being a little dirty. I remember there being a tear in the lid a little, and I'm looking forward to seeing that strengthened, and the whole thing really just looking fresh and restored and prepared for the next few years of display. So it's really quite an exciting moment. So we've arrived at the conservation studio, and here's Jenny with the object, with the suitcase, or the portmanteau we must call it. Jenny, what have you done to this? It looks transformed, it looks amazing.
Well, I started off by doing a general surface clean to remove loose dust and dirt, and then there was quite a lot of leather dressing and ingrained dirt sat on the leather surface, so I removed that with white spirit, and then I've allowed the leather to dry out, and then I've removed any excess with a dry cloth and buffed it up with brushes to reveal the grain of the leather.
It just looks beautiful.
Thank
looks
you.
so different.
Glad you're pleased with it.
Absolutely delighted.
And then on the inside, we found there was quite a build-up of, again, loose dust and some sooty deposits. So we cleaned those off with initially a brush and a museum vac, and then we cleaned the rest of it with smoke sponge.
And that's what you got there?
And that's what we have here. And this is a really effective dry cleaning method. It's quite a gentle way of cleaning, and it will pick up ingrained dirt that's
so you basically
on
just
the
rub
surface.
it across the surface?
Yeah. And it's a nice gentle way of cleaning.
Well, it's just brought the colour out.
Absolutely.
Because it was so grey before.
Yeah, it's quite controllable. If you see any sort of colour transferring onto the sponge, then you've gone too far. So we don't do that.
Yeah.
We've also provided a new support for the lid, because we've found that while it's been displayed in this open position, the weight of the lid has caused this back piece to become misshapen. So we were initially going to plan quite an elaborate support for the lid, but we found when we were starting to look at it that just a simple piece of perspex like this with a plastizote strip to protect the leather sufficed and adequately lifted up the lid so that it could be safely displayed in this open position.
It looks very stable.
It
looks sort of happy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's done the job.
Yeah.
Another concern was that there's some damage along here, and this side slightly flared out when it was displayed in the open position. So we've just put a little linen stitch in there to close that up, and it just makes it look a lot neater and tidier.
I remember that looks so much better.
And there was a secret compartment in the lid.
Secret compartment?
Yep. Where, no, I'm not quite sure.
See, I've never been in here. All these years, I didn't know about this.
So we've used this perspex strip here to keep the lid.
So his name looks so much stronger too, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, we've done the same dry surface cleaning method around there, obviously being very careful around the lettering, but it is quite fast, and we were able to clean around there quite safely. And then we've just put
look at this.
some acid-free tissue within the lid.
And that keeps the lid looking full, doesn't it?
Yeah, it keeps the lid looking full, and also gives the lid something to rest against.
So that's where Wordsworth would keep his socks, probably.
Probably.
Socks in his handkerchief and his notebooks and things like that. Well, that's fantastic. It's fantastic. What a transformation. Absolutely wonderful. So this is the portmanteau that he would have taken to the Battle of Waterloo, or to the field of Waterloo, when he visited 5 years after the battle. So it's seen some things as this piece of luggage. That's brilliant, Jenny. Thank you so much. So we're back in Grasmere, here we are, crowded street. There's the portmanteau in its box. Melissa, very carefully handling it.
Very carefully.
Very carefully. Okay, let's go into the cottage. So here we are, still in the same condition that we packed it really, isn't it?
It is.
Wow. So it's very nice to have Hazel join us at this point. Hazel's unwrapping the stand. That's wonderful. Let's do it. Let's just... So we don't need those anymore.
No, we don't need the temporarily removed for conservation. So how does this go?
And that goes the other way up.
Designed to go like that.
Absolutely. Gosh, it's so dark in this corner. It's good for the suitcase, good for the portmanteau, but it's not good for the camera.
Little straps are okay back there.
They are, yeah. Gosh, it really is dark.
How's that?
That's great. That's really good. Let's take those out.
Yeah.
So there, that's fantastic. And there it is, back on the washstand in the bedroom where it belongs.